Welcome to another episode of the Life Creative Podcast. This is a show dedicated to helping you get the most from your creativity, offering you inspiration, suggestions, and discussion. So let's get on with the show. How's it going, everybody? It's a Friday here, and I've been enjoying a day off work and just pursuing a few thoughts that I've been having recently about some ideas for some new projects. And, part of that is, dragging out some of my photographic equipment here and, making sure everything's charged up, making sure everything's, set the way I need it to be, and just sort of playing around with it a bit. And while I've been doing this, I've been, I love to listen to podcasts, obviously, and I love to listen to sort of inspirational, I guess you would call them personal motivation, creative podcasts. I don't know how else to describe it. And, one of the ones I love to listen to, and it gave me this thought that I want to share with you today. So full credit to Brooks Jensen and the Lenswork podcast. You should definitely check it out. Lenswork.com. It's, at first you're going to think the site is, it's definitely about photography, but his podcast is about the creative process, right? And I don't think that restricts itself in any way to any particular boundaries or medium. So, in an episode, he was talking about preparing yourself for, undertaking a creative pursuit, and, drawing the comparison to I think he may have been referencing somebody else, so I don't want to misquote, but the idea that an athlete prepares for what they're going to do, right? They warm up, and they don't just go run a marathon. They warm up beforehand and practice and get themselves ready for that marathon at that time, and how we should be doing the same thing. And I was thinking about this, and I realized that it's something that I don't do, and I should. And I was thinking about, well, how would I do that? What does it actually mean to warm up when you're looking to create something, right? Turn on that part of your brain, and even the your hands, your muscles, and everything else to do this thing you're going to do. And I realized, quite rightly, that, yeah, you just got to do it, right? Not everything you do, like not every picture I take has the expectancy to be phenomenal or great or something I'm going to use. It's part of the process of practicing and warming up. So, as I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about a couple of pictures that I took here at sort of my home studio the other day, and I realized, I'd been taking pictures before the ones that I felt were going to be the ones that I wanted. And that is my process for warming up. I've been sort of partly doing it without realizing it, but I've not really been fully embracing it and doing it enough. So I've made this conscious decision to warm up before I expect my, the real work to begin. So for example, I have a couple of ideas that I want to pursue at home here. I'm lucky that I have enough space in the house to sort of set up I hate to define it, like a mini studio or portable studio or whatever. I prefer to just call it my creative space, right? So I set up my creative space, and that tells my brain, look, this is the zone that you're going to be, you're going to be in this area when you do this, right? And so it's kind of a psychological thing, but to also, as I am getting ready for that, and maybe, hours, days, whatever, ahead of time, to start warming up. And that means picking up my cameras, taking pictures that and I don't mean like just pick up the camera, take a picture, boom, great, there it is, I'm warmed up. That's not what warming up is, right? You got to go through the process of doing everything that you're supposed to. So, try to make a creative vision happen, if you like, in the picture, and don't necessarily expect it to happen, but still try to do it. And that is the process of opening up my brain to say, all right, start seeing the world this way. Start seeing the scene, the vision that you have in your head that says, I'm standing here looking at this set up this way because I think I'm going to make this picture. And I think that's how it's going to be. That is all part of the warming up process. Along with that is, reminding yourself, oh, that's right, there's these settings on this camera and this is how I'm going to set it up because I think this is going to have this end result, and learning from those things. I often just take pictures to experiment with settings on my camera so that in my brain I can catalog that sort of result as, oh yeah, if I do this setting, forget what it's called, it doesn't matter, it's going to give me this result. And so I kind of view all of that as part of the process of warming up. So I want to again thank the Lenswork podcast for putting that spark in my brain to think about it this way. And I'm sharing it here. I want to be clear. I'm not plagiarizing or looking to steal the idea or anything, but just to, basically say, look, this is how I interpret that. This is what this means to me. And to ask you, go away and do the same, right? Think about it. And like I say, you should definitely check out the Lenswork podcast if you don't already. It's just a fantastic place to listen to and get my head in that space. So, that's kind of the thought I want to share here. Part of the process for these ideas that I have too, which I also think of as warming up, is gathering the materials. So, I got a fantastic amount of leaves falling from the trees around my house. And this idea in my head, I need some really interesting sort of leaves from the trees that have fallen. And I don't know what that means until I see it. So part of that process is going to be walking around my yard, gathering leaves and seeing what I find there. And hopefully the ones that I need will speak to me when I see them. So, maybe I'll have some photographs to talk about and share and link next time if the project comes together that quickly. We'll see. With that, that's kind of my thought for this episode. Again, as always, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I've had some folks reach out to me and, thank you for that, and had some great conversations. Really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to reach out to folks when if you watch a video or you listen to a podcast or anything like that. Reach out to the people if you appreciate it, or even if you don't and you think that they're doing something wrong. I urge you to reach out to the communities that you get these materials from, because it helps them and it starts a conversation. And it's very clear in this world what we need is more conversation. So with that, like I say, reach out to me if you want. graphicsmedia.com, grfxmedia.com, one word, or at graphicsmedia on Twitter, and I would love to just have a conversation with you. Be it over text, Twitter, or whatever, email. I'd love if you're interested in sharing thoughts in a podcast. Who knows? Maybe we can try and figure that out as well and have a conversation that way and share it with the audience. Take care of yourselves. I will speak to you again soon.